good evening, everyone. Chris and Tammy here, coming to you live from Daytona Beach for another month in a couple of weeks, and then we're off to Toronto, Canada, and it's gonna be nice and sunny over there. No more snow, no more cold. Looking forward to it. Florida, it's always such a beautiful place to live in, and we want to welcome all of you here this morning. I noticed again from the East Coast, Mary Paul from sunny Ottawa. That's nice. Welcome, welcome. We have Bakshir from Bangladesh. Welcome, Bakshir. Great to see you here. We're Marvin. Great to see you. Happy Saturday. Let's see here. We have Bruce from sunny Florida. Can relate to that. MC from Texas. Day. Great to see you here. And we have Vanchek. Great to see you here. We have me, Havari. Great to see you. 6985. We have Jim. Excuse me. Great to see you here. And welcome, everybody. And we really hope that you're going to take advantage of this session. Now, Tammy and I want to talk about the follow-up, the prospecting, the scripts that are involved. But at the same time, we want to touch on this brand new tool, Marcomax, that we have, which I want to give you some examples, how I'm following up. So if you're a bit of on the shy side, a bit of an introvert, this is a really good tool that you can really tap in. And I know Joel did a great session on Friday, which you can really take advantage of. I know I've learned a few things. I thought it was awesome where you can take some of his videos that are viral and you can play it and have ChatGPT listen to it and transcribe it, so you can actually use it for your own videos. And again, you can even use also the tools to even, anyway, I'm not going to go too much into the AI because I know that many of you may not be familiar with all of that. But at the end of the day, folks, it's amazing what we have available in the palm of our hands here. So Tammy, I'm going to pass this over to you to initiate your conversation, and let me just get the screen sharing.
Yeah, it was a great session yesterday, learning from Joel. We're always learning new things, and what we were talking this morning, we're just going to add some of this to this session today. So yeah, it's all about prospecting, inviting, following up. This is kind of the old school way, but it's still reality, right? We're still out there networking, connecting with people. We still go out and do groceries. We still go out and do stuff. It's just learning to get out of our comfort zones and having conversations with people. Because I can tell you, the person who's standing in front of you in the line in the grocery store, they're probably worried about their bill. They're probably worried about, not having enough money for the end of the month or something like that. And having normal conversations with people builds relationships, builds rapport with people, builds those connections to see if people are looking. And it's not to be shy to ask, because people are looking. I'm telling you, they're online searching for the answer. And there's so much stuff online saying you don't have to do anything. It's so easy. There's lots of stuff online, and people want to make money more and more and more today. People have a second, even a third hustle today because of the economy and everything. So go ahead, Chris.
Yeah, sure. So starting with this slide over here, we're kind of covering session 2 and 3 in the month of April, which is prospecting, following up, and some of the scripts. But don't worry so much about a script, because again, we just want to give you some examples, and we also have a wonderful tool that we've created that is called Boards, where you can access absolutely every single thing that we use to build our business. So that's what we want to talk about here. The fact here that you need to understand is 90% of your revenues will occur after a follow-up. If you only make one connection, your chances are that the result you're looking for may not transpire as what you're expecting. People need more than one exposure. Unless you really know that person and you have credibility with that person, whenever you say something, they will do, no questions asked. That certainly happens when there's a relationship. They like you, know you, trust you. But when you're dealing with the general public or online where they don't know you from Adam, you understand that there's a lot of mistrust out there. So one exposure, one email is not going to cut it. So when you use the tools that are available with the God Backup promotional tools, there are some that will even suggest as an option, you can put the phone number there. And to my surprise, I would say about 30 to 40% of the leads that are coming in, I've actually provided a phone number. I just need to get to them and reach them out. But the fact is the tools are there, but you need to make that extra step if you want to go forward. Now, can it work without doing this? Absolutely, but it'd be a lot slower. So following up is a key aspect of you to kind of banking your sales. Okay, Jamie.
Yeah. And Chris kind of tapped into quite a bit of this, just, going through this slide. It's to be consistent, you guys. That's what's important. You got to be consistent on connecting with people on a daily basis. It's like having a storefront and having the door locked if you're not prospecting, right? It's the same thing. So if you have a storefront, you're going to be advertising, you're going to be connecting with people, you're going to talk to people at the coffee shop, you're going to be giving people, business cards, or I mean, I don't know if they even do that today. I know everything Chris and I do is electronic, but it's to bring people in, right? So it's these conversations to bring people in, to connect with people. And on social media, there's so many groups that you could be a part of, women groups or any kind of business groups, different types of groups that you could be part of, that they have sessions, and they might have a learning session, but they also have a sessions where you can get together in small groups and you can talk to each other about your own businesses. So there's no excuse not to talk to anybody. It's just a decision that we make every day, whether we want to do it or not. That's really what it is at the end of the day. So, and the follow up is absolutely key. The relationship building, the follow up. I've been following up with this couple that Chris and I had a nice dinner with. They were staying at our hotel. Their daughter got married, and we were connecting with them on a breakfast, and they were telling us about this great restaurant. So we went out and had dinner with them. They're kind of in retirement. He's written a book, and we started talking about AI. Long story short is, now they're back home. We're back home. I've left several messages. That's my follow up, right? Just seeing how they're doing. How's everything recovered since the wedding and all of that stuff. And she finally got back to me. And Tulum was 2 months ago, Chris? So
Yep.
she finally got back to me and said she'd love to hop on a Zoom. So you got to follow up, and they might not answer right away, but they will answer eventually. But you can't wait for that. You got to keep moving and keep connecting with people. Okay. Every conversation is going to bring you closer to the goals that you have written down, the goals that you want to achieve in getting to the next rank, the next income level, whatever it is. That's where we're at. But you got to be constantly talking to people. I love the Marco Max, because I look at Marco Max as another tool, right? So it's doing work for me, but at the same time, I'm also doing my work as well. So you're getting more results when you're doing both. And just treat prospecting as a daily habit. It's just got to be natural for you, and embedded into your DNA why you're so excited. It's an exciting time, and this system is so good. The Marco Max is freaking awesome. For those of you who haven't started yet, it's so easy. Chris is going to show you, but really, you guys just get out there and connect with people and have fun doing it. Don't look at it like it's a job or a chore.
Now, I agree, Tammy. And the fact here, folks, is, as we kind of come into this slide, how to prospect like a pro, identify your target audience. Okay, so you have warm, you have cold, you have hot market. Obviously, hot market are people family members, people that trust you, know you, like you. Cold is what we're doing with Marco Max. Like, they don't know you at all. And warm is, it could be someone you know, or your coworker, or even someone that you've met through the marketing that Marco Max helps you kind of propel out there. And after you've done the follow-up process, that cold become warm, because now they know a bit what you're about and everything else. For example, one thing that's important here is, I want to bring you back to this website here, which is our YouTube channel. I'm going to post it right here in a comment. And from there, you can see that. I really recommend that you subscribe to this, so you get notified whenever there's a call and everything else, so you don't just rely on emails. Number two is, there's some playlists over here. You can see that all the Saturday trainings are over here. Okay. And also the Success Cycle series, the reason why I want to bring you out to this one is it has the basic modules. Now, you have to understand that times are changing. Some things that we may be talking about, remember, this was done 2 years ago. Okay. So the fact here is it's very possible that, well, let me rephrase that. It's definitely possible that Marco Max was not existing at the time. Some of the social media tools did not exist at the time. So we're not going to talk about these here. So that's why we do this training here today, because we want, it's like an addendum. So let's kind of go back in the past and kind of make a correction, not a correction, and adjustments with what's coming now today. So, but these here, it's like learning your alphabet, right? The fact is that we talk about 100 years from now or 100 years ago, I assure you, they still had the same amount of characters in the alphabet in English. You get me? So you need to understand the basics. Then you can read. It could be 100 years ago, 300 years ago, or it could be now. Okay. This is what we're talking about. These are principles: prospecting, inviting, following up, third party credibility, handling objections, right? I think Dr. Kiwi had a comment over here about Eric Horn speaking about several skeptical skills that people need to know. Well, we kind of cover some of those on the handling objections. People have objections. They're skeptical. There's situation that may occur. And I'm not sure if I'm the right context, Dr. KOA, but the point here is handling objection is a very important module to be able to help people see the bigger picture, because their picture might be quite limited based on their understanding of what they think they're looking at. So these here are trainings that you can use. What else did I want to cover here? That's about it. I mean, there's obviously other things here. So the other thing I want to cover here very quickly is in your God Backup, if you have the Pro package, I know there was a promotion. I don't know if it's still on, but I really recommend that you get this package added on, because the Marco Max is really designed to help you with the affiliate system that we have available here to talk to the mini. And over here, there's videos you can watch. And I really suggest, and this is the challenge, folks, is people don't watch videos. People don't bother doing their homework, but the details are here. How do I do this? How do I do that? Instead of waiting for the next training and ask the question, you can get ahead and go through these links and watch those videos. Now, once you log into your Marco Max, you end up over here. Now, the reason I'm showing you this is Joel yesterday did a really good training. And in fact, I really enjoyed what he talked about when it comes to mimicking, in fact, doing your own video, but using his own script. And what he was showing over here is through his campaign, which I'll show you in a minute here, over here. Okay. So what's going on is now Eve is in here. And what's happening is, let's say there's one that's going viral. Okay. And I'll show you my YouTube channel in a minute here, but you could turn around and you can actually play the video on ChatGPT and ask ChatGPT to listen to the video. It will transcribe the script where you can turn around and you can actually read it yourself with something like, tell me, what's that app that we use on the phone there to create videos?
You mean it's the CapCut, the teleprompter?
So CapCut has a great feature where it will actually display your text while you're talking to your phone, and you can repeat what he did, and it's not long, right? It's easy to remember, but you have it in front of you, and you create your own video, and you can even tap it into the ones that are going viral. Okay, I recommend that you go back to the email he sent yesterday. He sent about 2 or 3 times about the recording session, so you can see how this is all taking place. Okay, and from there you can create your own campaign. But I'm not going to do a Marco Max training here. I wanted to point out as a reference, these are, for example, I'm going right now on Facebook, on TikTok, and on YouTube. These are the 3 ones. The YouTube is the one that I get most traction. And I want to show you before I go back to the training over here. This is, for example, my shorts. Okay, so this is my channel that I was just showing you over here. That would be this over here. And this is the channel, and you can see here, okay, in this case, there's no messages here. There's no here. Oh, there's 13 there. Here what I did, okay? I went ahead, and I just respond with a link, okay? And from there, it's the link that Joel uses. And the reason why I use this link, it's because it's him on the video. And I want to have that congruency when the prospect goes in there. Oh, that's the same guy. Oh, yeah. Okay. And then you go in and register. And this is where you have the option. Sorry, Tammy, did you have something you said?
No.
Sorry, I thought you said something. So it probably my echo. So from there, what's going on is a lot of people will actually put their phone number there, which is an option you can use, but you can see that it responds to every single one. So this is a form of following up. And then if I go back to my God Backup Pro, and I can't really show you because that exposes emails. And the moment I do that, YouTube will block this video because I'm exposing emails and everything else. But then when you go into, just bear with me here, hoping it's not going to be lagging too much. Hopefully it'll come quickly, a little quicker. Okay, so it's not going to play ball. So from there, when you can actually go through your lists and actually see the people that are registering. I just wanted to show you. God, I just wish that.
That's fine, Chris. Yeah, they can go and look.
It won't play ball. So from there, you can go through your lead capture and see the follow-ups and go from there. Okay. So again, I want to give you an example of following up today that we don't have at the time because Marco Max didn't exist. But identify your target audience. Okay. And then when you connect with them, you want to be authentic. Don't try to oversell and share too many things that are not realistic in their mind. Just get to know them. Build a relationship first. Thank them for taking the time to look at the information that you really appreciate that are doing. And here's the information. And often I would suggest, are you open to meet on Zoom? I find that when you meet on Zoom, there's a face-to-face connection and people can see you through your eyes, through your way of communicating, and it can relate to you or not. But the fact is, I find that that's something that I do that work well for me, right? And invite prospect to take a look at the opportunity. There's many recordings of the trainings that are taking place. So if I go back here, maybe I can do that now. Okay, so what I was talking is your lead capture system. You click on this, and from your lead capture system, I'm just going back to. You go back to follow-ups, and then your follow-ups, what's going on is you have access. I can't do this now, but you would go to your pre-enrollee right here, and all your leads will show up there. Okay, so that's what I wanted to show you earlier. So back over here is invite prospect to take a look at the opportunity. What you look at the opportunity through the YouTube channel. So you can go back to, for example, some lives, and there's many presentations that are available that you can utilize. Okay. And if you like some of the information that's there, and Tammy and I, for example, this one here, we got some great feedback from this presentation that someone can look into. And then again, it could also be a shorter one. There's other shorter presentation you can take advantage, or maybe something you use. At the end of the day, invite them to look at the information. Okay. So that's the thing, that you don't have to wait for the next presentation on Wednesday, which we do recommend for you to attend so you can learn while you earn, in the same time, expose your prospect to it. So invite prospect to look at the opportunity. So write down 10 new people. And if it's not the case, go through your Marco Max and start going through. Joel was mentioning that a lot of people are getting messages and they don't respond. Because one of the things that Joel say in that context over here, if I go back to Marco Max here and I go back to his campaign, very often he's going to turn around and drop a line, drop the word blueprint, drop the word I'm ready, things like that. And people are actually going to do that. And that is a micro commitment. That means, okay, let me give it a shot. And then you respond. And that's when you have an opportunity to follow up with these people. Okay. So that's what I mean by write down 10 new people.
If you're using Facebook or Instagram, or you want to make sure that you let them know that you left them a DM. So if you're not using ManyChat and programming on automation system, at the beginning, you don't really need it. You want to make sure that you let them know you sent them a DM, and make sure that you send them your link for sure.
Yeah. Now, there's a question, Bruce. Do you still Joel's video? Yes, I am. And in fact, I'm going to be doing some of my own, and like actually probably as of today here, where I'm going to be adding him to his, and just to see get a kind of response that I get. So that's the answer to that. Are you able to communicate individually, or do you use personal email? Well, this is up to you, right? Me
You do
personally,
both.
yeah, exactly. Okay, so
Yeah.
this is entirely up to you. Do you play the video with them on Zoom? No, I never play video on Zoom, simply because it's a little bit. It could be time consuming. Some people, again, you're just getting to know them, and they may not be open to sit with you for 20 minutes or whatever. Unless you have a, I know we have some 10-minute presentations out there. I know I've done a few of them, and where you can play. But usually I would send it to them. I will ask them to look at the information prior to meeting. So instead of spending the time while we're together, I want to focus on answering questions. And if they haven't seen the video, then it's an option. I'm not saying no. If they're open to it, hey, are you open to stick around with me and watch it together? Absolutely, you can do that. But I wouldn't do that as a default. I would just kind of, I would get into it and get a feel for where they are as far as the level of interest before I do something like that. Okay, so I hope that answers your question. So let's move on to the next slide, Tammy.
Yeah. So we're always talking about mastering the follow up, and better conversions is through the follow up process. And make sure, like Chris said, if you're got the system set up in Marco Max, and whatever went out today and you're checking it tomorrow in a couple days from now, it's not a good thing. You need to follow up in the system. So at least check it at least twice a day. Check it. If you can do it 3 times a day, just check. It's easy to check. I'm on 4 platforms. I go and check, and if I see that they've wrote the word info or money or whatever he's asking them to do it based on his videos, then I just copy paste my message and I send it to everyone. Copy paste send. Copy paste send, and then they go from there. They watch the video, and we're using the video of Joel because we want to see his system, how his system's working. Eventually, we'd like to do our own system and our own video that he goes into next, and that next step. And yeah, and I like the fact that he was telling us all to write, little quotes and stuff, engagement quotes in between all of these videos that are going on. And the best thing to do is go look at Joel Terrier on Facebook or Instagram, whatever, and you just look at those quotes that he's putting in between. Copy them. I mean, just if you have to copy stuff at the beginning, copy it. If you could take that content and throw it into ChatGPT or whatever system you're using, and create some more. Have some more made so you have stuff that you can share easily. So it's just getting comfortable doing it, you guys. Like at the beginning, it's work. It always seems like work at the beginning when you're learning something new. But then you get into this rhythm, and it becomes easy to do it. You set a time that you're going to do this. You get it done. It's done and over with, and then you just move on to the next thing. Or you could even automatically schedule things as well for those who are doing stuff like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's about following up. It's about keeping it simple. That's a key. You guys, don't send people a bunch of information. They're not going to look at it. Most people are they want something fast, and they want to see if it's something that's going to capture their attention. And then they look, and then if it's something for them, they'll want more. There's always going to be objections when you're personally connecting with people, and you just handle them. A lot of them, it's just simple things. They just have to have more of an understanding on something, or maybe they need more value. Maybe, they don't have a lot of money, and is this going to be worth their time? They just need that reassurance that, yes, it's going to be worth your time. Yes, you're going to put a little bit of work into it to make sure that you're going to get the results. I mean, if you don't do anything and you just count on this Marco Max to do it all for you, and you're not following up, you're not going to get results. It's like, Hello. You got to be part of your business, right? So, and sometimes you have to share additional value, even testimonies. I like to tell stories a lot when I'm personally connecting with people. Oh, and you know what, when I also follow up with people, I say, hey John, let's hop on a Zoom, I want to show you something really cool, you're going to love it. And I see what they say, right? And then if they say, yeah, sure, I send them a Zoom link, we book a time, and then I start showing them my Marco Max. I start showing them my social media. I'll show them things so that they can see how it's all done, and just reassure somebody to make that decision to get signed up. But you got to be engaged in the process of the follow up. You can't just expect systems to do that work, because it's the follow ups is really in the relationship building. And yeah, it's a lot of fun when you can really help people build a business, help people grow their skills, and guide them to hit some ranks and make extra money. And yeah, it's a great feeling when you can do that.
So
So
Bruce, I go ahead.
yeah,
Cut
go
you off.
ahead, Chris.
Okay. So Bruce, I went ahead and I posted the link that I use. This is the one that I'm using that Joel is doing in front of his house. And what's nice, it has a bit of an education process there, and it goes right into your pre-enrollee lists when you go back to the tool where you can control your leads. Okay, so the pre-enrollee list. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about here, folks, I suggest you go back to trainings that we've done on email marketing, and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Now, when it comes to scripts make your work easier, again, these are just um, concepts, right? If you're dealing the Marco Max, you may not need a script as much. Okay, so in this case, what's going on is the script can kind of remove the guesswork, especially if you're brand new. Okay,
Hmm.
and they help to stay consistent and effective instead of branching off in all directions and talking about the weather and everything else, and going back to opportunity. And sometimes if you're not experienced in doing this, the person is kind of interested and about to move forward, and boom, you distract them with another conversation that takes you completely off topic, and next thing you know, you just lost the sale. And that's why sometimes that's why we're mentioning that it helps you stay consistent and effective. Okay. um, and personalizing your script made the conversation more natural. So we're giving you some examples, which the next slide time we will cover. It doesn't mean that you need to use that. It's just some words. And today with ChatGPT, you can massage this if you're specific on what you're looking for. And the good thing is often ChatGPT will use the context of what you want. ChatGPT agrees with everything you say, right? It doesn't want to offend you in any way, shape, or form. But at the end of the day, you can be more specific. You can tell it how critical you want it to be, because often it will also take a lot of its information based on what's going on in the real world and compare notes. So it's interesting the response they come up with. Sometimes it's even amazing how accurate they are. It's almost like it knows you, but you have to be specific in providing the context you want it to respond to. So, and we like to give you activities because we want you to familiarize yourself with the context. Once you create your script, you want to practice it so you don't sound like you're reading it. If you sound like you're reading it, folks, it's dead in the wall. It's not going to work. People are going to see right through you. They're going to feel you're not authentic. It's not you. Blah blah blah. So it has to come from you. So, an example: practice with your pet. I know that sounds silly, but a dog will turn around and look at you with ultimate admiration, right? It doesn't matter what you say to it. It just gives you a sense of someone is listening, right? So it just gives you the habit of talking. Now, obviously, if it's done through emails or done through chatting and everything else, again, it's different context. Remember, different times. So just keep that in mind. But what you will find is a script will give you a sense of comfort and minimize the guesswork and stay on target instead of mismatching your information that could be a little confusing for the prospect. Go ahead,
Yeah,
Joel.
and we have some scripts, like for those of you who may be seeing this session for the first time, you haven't been on the sessions, we do have a boards, and you have a section where you have some invitation scripts that you could copy and text into WhatsApp or Messenger, whatever platforms that you're using texting. And that's going to help you. It's going to guide you on the introduction, which is the prospecting, and then the invitation, inviting them to look at something in the conversation. And then from there, you have also follow-up scripts and even some of the handling objection stuff. I put it all together on the boards for you to just to grab and go. And it's easy to do when you're on social media or when you're in front of a phone. It's easy to do when you're using this way of doing it. But when you're personally connecting with people, be excited about what you're doing, be natural about it, be excited about it, and just create some curiosity. That's the key thing. So if you're talking and say, hey, John, I'm contacting you because something really, really cool came into my lap and you were telling me about wanting to earn some extra money. And I thought it would be something that would be interesting for you. And I know you're not an online person and a social media person, but the system does the work for you. Would you be open to check it out? And then I just see what they say, right? And if they say, yeah, sure, maybe I have a good relationship with John and he's just curious because I'm so excited about it. And he may just click on and check it out. So you gotta come into it with excitement, with passion about what you're excited about. And people tend to get excited when somebody's excited. People tend to laugh when somebody's laughing. They love to be around people who are out there, outgoing, stuff like that. And if you're an introvert, it's going to be getting out of the comfort zone for sure. I know Chris is more of an introvert. I'm
I
more.
actually am. I actually
Yeah,
am. And
yeah.
just to add to this, Tammy, so for those of you, I am not I like to stay in my own little space. I
Mhm.
could stay in my home forever, where my wife's gonna tell me, is gonna say, let's go out, let's do something, whatever. So that's
Or to
me.
meet people.
But the fact is, where my confidence comes through is because I know what the heck I'm doing. I'm living out of this. I made a full time income doing these things, so my confidence is extremely high, and I know I'm in the one percenters out there that have succeeded building network marketing companies and make a full time income. So for me, it doesn't matter if someone is negative or a flamer or whatever. As in my head, as okay, this person obviously is not educated on that particular aspect, and it gives me an opportunity to educate that person, and that's the kind of confidence that say, well, you know what? Why should I be intimidated by that? This guy is struggling, and here he is flaming. And this often you'll find that the people that struggle financially happens to be also the most skeptical, the most procrastinators, and again, you also have to let go, right? If they're not open, they're not open, and that's all there is to it. But the fact is, I'm naturally an introvert. I'm not an extrovert, but I worked into it. So for me, it comes across natural just because of experience. Sorry, Tammy, back to you.
Yeah. And that's why it's good to practice, because the more you practice, the better and the easier it becomes for you. When we used to remember back in the day, maybe I'm dating ourselves, our years of doing this business is making the phone calls, right? Back in the day, and calling people and cold calling people and stuff like that. And it wasn't easy, but that's what they were doing back then. So you do it and you get all kinds of negative stuff, and you gotta toughen your skin, right? Because it's marketing. I mean, you get telemarketers all the time calling you, right? And I'm sure some people are not very nice to them, and I'm sure that some people are, right. Some people just happen to be open and that particular moment to look at whatever it is they're selling or talking about. And I remember back then we had that easy button. So every time I see that easy button, it just helped me get through the difficult times of working the cold market. See, social media
I
is
have
the
it.
cold market. Mine's in Toronto. Yeah, mine's in Toronto. He's got his
The
here.
battery's dead.
Okay. So, yeah, I mean, you got to have fun, you guys. You got to be able to laugh when you screw up. You got to be able to just have fun with it. And eventually it becomes easy. And at the beginning, it's going to seem like a lot of time, but then like Chris said, it's part of our DNA. So every time we're out, we're just passionate about talking about this stuff because we talk about it every day, right? For work. And then when we meet people, it's like, yeah, it's great. So whether you do it online, whether you do it, another thing I wanted to share with you guys that has really worked for me, when you're trying to build relationships, texting, in a messenger. Let's say you're connecting with somebody on Facebook, and you message them, but you send a message by text. There's no emotion in that. I like to leave voice, and I tend to get a lot better results when I leave a voice. I know it's more work, but that's part of the relationship building. And try it. Try things. This is what Chris and I are never afraid to try new things. All of we're doing this AI, and we're trying to perfect our avatar and our voice and all of that stuff. We're having fun doing it. It's going to be part of our process, but it's not going to be the process. It's not going to be the only thing. You don't want to just do one thing and expect everything to come out of that. Try different ways of doing things so that you can develop yourself personally, your skills, your posture, and eventually you're going to be a natural at it. I know anybody who knew me a long time ago, I guess Marie Paul, you would be one of them. If you're on today's session, you'd be one of them, knew us when we first started this industry. I was really, really bad. I mean, you couldn't even put me in front of people. I'm a friendly person when I get to know somebody, but to talk to strangers and stuff like that, or stand in front of a room or doing something like this, no way. I'm not going to talk in front of people. That was me. But I had to grow out of that. And you can too. It's just a choice, you guys. It's all choices that we make every single day, whether we want to grow and move forward, or we want to get on this session, go back on our lazy boy, and flick on the TV right after this session and watch a series or whatever, right? So these are choices that every single one of us get to make every day, okay?
Yeah.
And you make it.
So, and moving forward, and that was a good example, Tammy, in handling objections. And Bruce, before I respond to your comment, what if they have already seen the video? Well, again, that's good. If they already seen the video, now that's a follow-up process.
Mm-hmm.
Ask them, what did you like best? And ask them, be honest with me. Is there anything that you like or anything that you didn't like? And initiate a conversation of back and forth. That's it. Okay. It's as simple as that. That's the answer to that question. Do you send automatically? Well, here's the situation. Joel talked about there's another tool called ManyChat. Okay. And I do have access to this tool. And for example, I have quite a few things in over here, and these you can have it answer it automatically to TikTok. Again, we're not going to go through all of these here, folks, but the fact is, yeah, there are some automation, and I'm also affiliated with some people that, for example, you can auto DM some on Instagram. These are TikTok, right? There's just some basic keywords that you can say, that when you say wow, and whatever, then you can initiate response. Okay, these are out of context with got backup. I'm just saying, absolutely, you can. Okay, so these are things that I can certainly cover a little bit. These are inbox or people messages that came in from people. Yeah, absolutely, you can, and it's not, and I think it's around $15 a month. And from there, how do you expand that again? Oh, here we go. And from there, there's you can this would be over here, the cloud one. Okay, so you can use a free one, and you can have some automatic with the free version. If you want to have a bit more features, you pay for it, and you can turn around and go to YouTube and just say, how do I respond on my YouTube when someone leaves a comment? And someone's going to do a quick video and walk you step by step on what you need to click on to do these things, right? So you can see here that there was been some responses and so forth. So that's the answer to the question is I do have some automatic responses, but that's entirely up to you. I know not everybody's techie here, but the fact is you can, me personally, the one that I was showing you earlier, they were manual, okay? Because there's not that many going on at the moment. But I will eventually activate my ManyChat and get an automatic response. All I have to do is cut and paste that same things. And the moment someone puts in whatever word that I choose to say, it'll be described, and then boom, the response will be there. How do you handle objections from prospect who aren't sure about digital backup or so? Well, that's the slide that we're in for right now. Right, I don't have time right now. Totally understand. So one thing is when someone has an objection, just go along with the objections. Don't try to be confrontational. You know more than them. Blah blah blah. That is not going to work. So you want to go along with the what's the word? Empathy.
Yeah.
They want
Find out
you
what
want
they don't like about what they don't know or
exactly.
what they
So
don't like about
that's why
digital.
this one thing
That
that's good you could turn
conversation.
around is that is why this is perfect. It's
Yeah.
designed for busy people.
Mm-hmm.
Because got backup with the Marco Max as an automation process. So it's really, really cool. I'm not sure this is for me. So that would probably be Nestor 13. That would probably be for you over here. I get that. What part of the opportunity interests you the most? Now, do you see what I just did? I didn't turn around and go along with his negativity. I try to turn it. What did you like best about it?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm turning his mindset. This is something that an experienced marketer will do is it will try to twist from a negative to a positive, and you'll find that he's not going to turn around and go in the direction he was planning to do. You're controlling the conversation. So this over here, there's some gold nuggets here that may not seem obvious, but it's there. Okay. I need to think about it. Hey, listen, no problem. What question can I answer to help you decide? You see what I'm trying to do? Instead of going along with your objection and accepting that it is what it is, I'm trying to understand what's the objections and how can I help you handling this? Because if they have, if the response is kind of they're not sure where they are, then when you throw something like this, what question can I answer to help you decide?
Yeah.
It changes the mindset. Oh, and now you're going to see that they're going to try to think of a response to that, and they may turn around and give you some really good clues on what they need to know for you to move forward. That's how professionals do it. That's why we make a living out of this. Okay. So I understand that
people shy from digital because they don't know how to do things.
Mhm.
And so that's why they tend to shy away from it. So you can, ask questions to find out what it is. So you can have the target of where they're at, and you can help them overcome some of this by talk about automation and one of my business partners is just like you. They couldn't do anything on their phone other than answer a phone call or whatever, check an email from time to time. And oh my gosh, you should see them today. And I'd love to introduce you to them. And sometimes bringing in that third party that were just like them before. And it's not that they don't want to learn, you guys. They just don't know what to do. So sometimes as leaders, we're guiding people to make a decision. Okay. So, but you got to get the context of where they're at to know how you can guide somebody. And, people who are amateurs, they just bring a negative towards it. They treat people like they don't know anything, and they get frustrated when people bring an objection. You got to understand where people are coming from, really, because when and they notice that you actually cared about how they feel or what they have to say, and you understand where they're coming from, then people are open. You'll see it, but you won't know until you start doing this stuff. And that's why I'm always saying practice, 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 because practice, you're going to learn a lot about people, and you'll learn a lot about yourself too. And you'll gain a lot of patience in the process when you
So
start.
let's talk about the mission for the week, Tammy.
Yeah, so I'm sorry I'm kind of going off in that because I really want you guys to understand that the follow-up process is relationship building, really. Okay?
Mhm.
So you got to be reaching out to people. You got to set that target number. If you don't set that target number, the day's going to go by and you're not going to have that number. Yes, you're going to have your Marco Max. Great. That is a bonus, you guys. But that's not the be all. Okay? So you got to focus on also networking, connecting, use your database, join groups, do whatever it is that you can also network as well. And then you want to be following up, being consistent, following up, even if they don't follow up with you back right away, which is that new couple that we met. I'm looking forward to setting a Zoom with her. And you got to keep going, and eventually they start responding saying, oh my god, I'm so sorry, there was something going on in the family or whatever it is. And then you're back into that conversation again to hop on a Zoom or answer some of their questions or whatever. But you got to keep moving. Do not stay stuck on people. Okay? Because there's so many people that you can talk to, so many online, in groups, all over the place. Everywhere you walk, there's people, right? So there's lots of opportunity, and there's no excuses other than the ones that we make to keep ourselves small. All right,
I,
and if you need to use the scripts, you can have the guidelines there. Just copy paste, send it to somebody. You've got that as well. So challenge yourself, you guys. It's important to challenge yourself to like if you've been consistent doing something, challenge yourself this week. Do a little bit
as a
more.
reminder, you got everything that we have available here in multiple languages. So feel free. I put the link there. Just steal everything we got, take it, and build your business with it. It's as simple as that. Simple as that. So, folks, let's take action and let's build some momentum here. You know, with the Marco Max, honestly, there's nothing stopping you from going forward. I mean, the least that you can do, if I go back to the Marco Max here, the least that you can do is at least use the campaign that the executive team of God Backup is doing. Use that. I intend to create my own campaign. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to be doing a variation of theirs and mine.
Mhm.
So, but for now, at least activate this. All you need to do when you click on the three dots over here, you go under settings. Once you activate it, then you manually select the channels you want. That's it. And then you save it, and it's going to schedule them all on its own. And if you have your things plugged in properly, it's going to look like this. And it schedules it for you. You just set and forget. And then you monitor your channel. You monitor your channel to see if there's any comments, right? Just check if there's any comments.
Mhm.
Okay. Here's another one. I've already responded. Not all of them will have comments, but some of them will. See, this one has 10. I responded them all. And I have quite a few leads that came from that. Okay. So really, at the end of the day, as a recap, is prospecting and expand your network and opportunity. Well, that's your Marco Max right here. Effectively follow up and turn interest into signups. That again could be when you go to your YouTube channel, for example, and you start responding to the people that are posting a comment based on what's on the video as a call to action. Now, the script again, you can use if you go back to the board over here. I mean, you go back to there's tons of stuff here that you can grab. You don't have to use that as per se. You can modify it, as I mentioned earlier, even with the help of ChatGPT. Give it the right context, it will give you what you want. Okay, and that's it. So you want to master prospecting, follow up consistently, and use the script if it's helpful to you. And again, with the script, what makes it simple is with the Marco Max over here. Well, the script is even easier because they kind of do it for you if you use that. Okay. And I'm getting results in fact, it was kind of a test just by using their campaign. Once you
Mhm.
start using yours, you don't know. You may have a huge impact. Maybe the way you look, the way you speak. I mean, who knows? But if you don't do, you'll never get the results. So that's kind of the training that we have for you here today. And that's all there is to it. At the end of the day is use the tools that are available to you, get into a habit of monitoring the responses because you will have responses, guarantee, because the information that he provides in many cases people resonate with, and you can have your own content, and who knows, you may do better or you may do worse or you may get no results. Then you can revert back to using their campaign. So how to's, well, when it comes to the Marco Max, I recommend to watch the video that Joel recorded on last Friday, which he sent by email, and go back to other trainings that are on the GVO YouTube channel on the Success Cycle series on the 5 different modules from prospecting, inviting, following up, and handling objections. And folks, you got everything. And then you have the boards with everything that we did. So you don't have to create anything. You just have to use it. That's all there is to it. So last
Yeah.
words, Tammy, as we end.
And yeah, and if you have the Marco Max now and you haven't done anything with it, there's a great video. And like Chris showed you the tools to watch it. It's super simple, you guys. You don't need any tech skills. Here's what I recommend though, is to be prepared with your Facebook account, and your passwords, be prepared with your information, because it's going to ask you for the stuff for your accounts so that you can get them all set up, right? So you want to be able
to sorry, I'm cutting it. These are the videos that she's talking about. Just go through these. Go through these. Set a fan page, all of these things. Just there's nothing missing. Back to you, Tammy.
Yeah. I never had a YouTube channel. I mean, Chris and Tammy was always the thing. I said, you know what? I'm going to create my own YouTube channel too. So I went and created that. I think it was about a week ago or so. And I have the system going through my YouTube channel as well. So you set up accounts. You know, the more you have, the more exposure that you personally have out there connecting with people. So it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Just matter of getting started, getting it going. How many of you, I'm curious, just to put out here, I know there's a little bit of a delay. How many of you are set up on your Marco Max right now? Because we want to celebrate you. How many of you?
While we're waiting for this here, we want to thank you for participating. Many of you are diligently attending the sessions on Saturdays, and we want you to know that we really, really appreciate you. And stay the course that way. We really, really want you to succeed. More than you'll ever know. It's something that matters to us. We even wrote a book on it, Breaking the Cycle of Poverty 1% at a Time, called freedomformula1.com. You can find that out on Amazon. But the fact here is it's really, really helpful to stay the course and attend the sessions on a regular basis. I'm not kidding. You won't regret it. So everybody, have yourself a wonderful, wonderful Saturday. We look forward to see you on Wednesday, other weekly presentations. And try not to show up alone here, folks. Show up with your team. Let them know. Take the link. Don't just expect they're going to get the email. Make sure you go to your Facebook Messenger group, your Instagram, your WhatsApp group, and let them know about the presentation. If the time zone doesn't fit, you may have another presentation that you do on your own base, on your own market. I know the African market have their own. Then you do phenomenal presentations. Just plug into all of these things and show up, and get your team to show up. And if it's not live, then pick up the recording from last night. They're always recorded, always there. Okay, everybody, have yourself a great rest of your weekend. And again, thank you for all your wonderful feedback, folks. Bye for now.
And congratulations for those who are setting up. And if you are having any challenges, just contact support and they'll be there for you.
Perfect. Take care, everybody. Bye for now.
Have a great one.